So the file's set up 1117 with my margins. Obviously, you would do 4 sides to the margins. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my image in. Okay, and if this, mine is just going to be my little file of Dexter. Yours would be your drawing. Okay, or maybe a sample of an image that you want to use. So I'm going to grab mine. Where is he? Here he is. And I'm just going to drag and drop it in. All right. Now I want to make sure that I don't lose this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on it and see if I can get it from here, because I forget if I can. I cannot. I'm going to go to Window, and I'm going to go to my links, and then I'm going to embed. Okay. You can also embed right over here under your quick actions, which is really nice if you're set up under the workspace of just essentials. Okay, but you can find it anywhere, which is really kind of nice. So I'm embedding my image. That means I don't need the image on my desktop anymore. I don't have to have it. All right. So here's my drawing, my sketch, or in this case, Dexter. And now I want to make sure that I create another layer, because I want a layer for Dexter to live, and I want a layer for my drawing to live. All right. And I'm going to lock this so that I don't draw in it accidentally and have to move everything. So when drawing in Illustrator, even if it's from a sketch that you have created, you need to think about drawing from the furthest object up. Okay? So if I was going to draw his head to start, all right, the first thing I want to create is his head. All right? And I need to create it as a complete shape. You've got to think about drawing in Illustrator as shapes. You can draw anything that you're used to drawing. Anything. You can create any character that you're used to creating. You can create any drawing that you're used to creating. The key is to do it in shapes, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to draw something like this and then do what I saw some of you doing, which is going like this and scribbling. That works in a paint program. When you're painting, it works in Photoshop. It works in any raster-based drawing program. The issue with this is not only am I going to exhaust my hand by coloring this thing in, but I'm going to end up with this mess. Okay? And so we want to create in shapes, and that makes it easier. So again, changing colors on my brush or on my pen tool or on my pencil tool, I'm simply double-clicking here. This is your slider. The color doesn't change until you pick it over here and then click OK, and then I get this wonderfully beautiful yellow. But when setting up a file, the next thing you want to set up is your colors. Okay? You want to know what colors you're going to use. So I'm going to actually go into my swatch panel. So if I go to my properties, all right, and go to Window, and under Color, and there's swatches, okay? So these are all the swatches I get in a default Illustrator program. I don't need them, because I'm not really going to use any. I'm going to use my own colors. So I'm going to click on black, then I'm going to click on Shift, and I'm going to click all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to delete it. Okay, that leaves me with no swatches. Because what I want to do is grab the color picker, and I want to use this orangish red. So I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to click here, and I'm going to click and hold for a second, and I'm going to drag the orange. Then I'm going to click on the blue. I'm going to click and I'm going to hold, and I'm going to drag. And I need the purple. Click and hold, drag. And I need the green. Click and hold and drag. So now I have the colors I need. So I really don't need to use the color picker anymore, because some of you realized yesterday the color picker not only picks colors, all right, but it picks every attribute that your shape has. So if I go here, and I have this shape, and I take this one, and I'm like, all right, this guy is this color for now. I need, get out of there. I need this, but I want this green color. When you go like this, it grabs everything. And sometimes that's frustrating. So when you create your own swatches and get them all set up at the beginning, it helps. All right, so now, drawing Dexter. Let's actually shrink him down a little bit, because he's a little too large for my document. It's a big Dexter. So I'm going small. All right, I'm also going to go to properties, and I'm actually going to just make it opaque so I can kind of see it as I'm drawing it. Okay? So, drawing in shapes, drawing in layers. The first thing I want to draw is his face. And you might remember this from exploratory. You may not have been paying attention during exploratory, and I don't blame you because it's exploratory, but now it's going to count. So I can draw this part with the pen tool, right? All right? Now, the pen tool, you're going to have to get used to drawing with it. I know it's frustrating at times, but I'm going to click here. All right, the hardest part about this is really the ear. So I'm going to click right here, and then I'm going to click right here. Now, to get this ear, I can't do it all in one shape. It doesn't work. Even if I click here, okay, and then hold the Option key and I try to drag this way up high here, and I try to get this shape, it's close, but it's not right, okay? So I click once, I click here. That's my line. Now I'm going to click about midway through, and I'm going to click, and I'm going to make the arc that I need for his ear. Okay, now I'm going to hold down the Option key, which allows me to separate this anchor. And I'm going to draw it, and this takes playing. So I go like this, I let go for a second, and I try my arc. It's not working. I also see this fill, so I'm going to go right over here and just make it a line for now. That arc's not great. See that? So I'm going to undo for a second, hold the Option key, all right? And I'm going to try to kind of bring it back where I want it. So sometimes it takes a little playing. Okay, we don't need a fill. All right, now you can either hold the Option key and bring this handle back, or I just click right on the point. Boom, it starts the new point over. Now I'm going to go here. Now I'm going to go here. Well, now we have another curve. All right, so again, I'm going to draw it right about here. Click. That seems all right. I'm going to hold the Option key, then I'm going to drag this way, and I'm going to see how it feels. Whoa, that's not going to work, right? So I hold the Option key, bring it back up. That's close. Option key, bring it back up. That feels good. Click here. Now, I have to complete the shape. Again, drawing in shapes, drawing in layers. So I'm going to go here, okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to take this whole little thing, and here's my regular selection tool. If you try to use the direct selection tool to do something, it's going to do this. You're like, whoa. All right? The regular selection tool, the black triangle, allows you to move it. Now this, I need the stroke to be black. There's a couple ways to do this. I can double click right here, do the black, or I can simply go over here to my swatch panel, click on the green, and then click on black. And I forgot, I deleted my black, so let's do this. I hate when I do that. There we go. Okay? And it needs to be thicker. So I go to my properties, stroke, and that feels pretty good. So there's Dexter. Now, I forgot to get the peach color. So, go to my swatches, gonna grab my color picker, gonna grab that peach skin tone, which is really hard to get sometimes, bring it over. So this needs to be filled with that peach color. So all I have to do is go to my fill color, click on the peach. I don't have to color it by hand. I don't have to make another box, okay? So there's Dexter's face, there's his head at the start. Next is his hair. So for this, I like the pencil tool better than the brush. I'm gonna use the pencil tool. But what I need to do is make sure it rounds it off. What you don't want to do when you're drawing in Illustrator, okay, is generally you don't want it to kind of look like a hand-drawn line like that. That's too messy, okay? It doesn't look good. So what you want to do is double-click on the pencil, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to see what happens. Now I want to draw this loop. Now, I've been doing this a long time, so I can probably do this in one line. You don't have to with the pencil tool, or with the brush tool, or with the pen tool, okay? I can start here, and let's say I go like this, and I get it, and I'm like, okay, that's good. All right, see how that smoothed it out? You saw my hand, I'm wobbling, okay? Now I can go right to the end right here, grab it, and continue it. All right, good, I got that part. Now I can take this right to the end. See how it turns into a line? Now I go right here, around, oh boy, that was terrible. So see how it smooths it out? Now here to the finish. Okay, now, I obviously didn't do that great, so what I can do is I can either draw it again, okay? I can grab the direct selection tool, I can click on a point, and I can bend it back a little bit, or I can come in here a little bit and pull this in, okay? Or if I needed to, and notice how see how it's jumping? It's jumping because I have smart guides on. So I'm going to go to view and hide smart guides, and then it'll give me a little bit more of a smooth movement. So see how I can now change the shape? If I couldn't get the shape the way I wanted, I could go to the pen tool, and I could add an anchor point and click right on that anchor point and say I need to move just this piece. See how that functions? Now, if the whole thing looked really good, except this section is really terrible, I'm going to select it with my regular selection tool. I'm going to grab the scissors, and I'm going to cut from here to here, and I'm just going to hit the delete key a couple of times. Now I'm going to grab my pencil tool. I'm going to highlight this, grab my pencil tool, go to this, and I'll start this end. Go here to here. Everybody see how that happened? Okay. Now I have this piece. Okay, it's rounded off. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to bring it over here. And all I want this to be, I'm going to go to my stroke, make it a none, go to my fill, and make it this orange color. And now I'm going to drop it right where it needs to be. Whoops, look what I did. I need my stroke. Stroke, black.
Why'd you just like move your thing around? Like,
there we go.
You had no clue what to do.
All right, there. So now I've got my stroke, I've got my fill, and I'm going to drop it right there. So I am building this in shapes. I am building it in layers. And this is how you have to do it. Okay? Next is the glasses. There's a bunch of ways to do this. Bunch of ways. I'm going to use the pen tool, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to simply click here, here, and all the way across. I'm going to escape to release it. I do not need a fill. There's the top line of the glasses. I'm going to drag this right over, right there. Okay? So you can see how it's starting to come together. The reason you build like this in Illustrator is that generally with a vector piece, you need to be able to select every object and manipulate and change it, especially if you're using it for a shirt, if you're using it for a logo, you need to be able to change and separate colors. So now I've got that. So now I've got the glasses, and I've looked up different drawings of Dexter. This one, if you notice, has like these really thick glasses. All right? So all I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and grab an ellipse tool, and I am going to make the circle, or the ellipse, if you will, the same shape as this.
Use your width tool.
Okay? Don't need to. That's one way to do it, but I don't need to. So now I'm going to take this, okay, and I'm actually going to go ahead and cut it. I'm going to grab the scissors, and I'm going to cut right there and right there. And I'm going to delete this part, okay? And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with black. Everybody see that? Okay? Now I'm going to hold the Option key, and you could do this. So Jordan said use the fill tool. The width tool. I could actually take this, and there's a tool called the width tool right here. It could be under one of these, and you can actually change the width of a line. So I can do that if I wanted to. This I find to be a little bit easier. I create this shape. I make another copy. Okay? I make it blue. Now I'm going to drop this right in the center of this. Oh, I need my smart guides back on.
Oh, you're smart.
Okay? Drop it right back in.
That was smart.
Now I'm going to scale it. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the Shift and the Option key. And the reason I hold the Option key when I shift is it'll scale from the center. Okay? Okay? So now I'm going to take, this is one set of glasses. I'm going to drag this right up here. There. Guess what? I'm going to take this. I'm going to hold the Shift key. In Illustrator, if you hold the Shift key, or in Photoshop, or in InDesign for that matter, if you hold the Shift key, you can select multiple items at once. Okay? I'll actually just take this and I'll group it. Now I'm going to copy and paste this. Again, just Option drag. So, and I put this here. Okay? Now you'll notice, like this one probably is a little bit bigger. Needs to come out a little bit more here. All right? Let me get rid of that. Copy and paste. Drop this one here. I need this one in front, right? See how this one's in front of here? Object, arrange, bring to front. Those are his glasses. His eyeballs are easy. They're simply ellipses. I'm going to hold the Shift key, make an ellipse, make it black. Okay? And I'm going to drop one here. Then I'm going to hold the Option key and I'm going to drag. Everybody see the pink line that's going across horizontally? That's lining those up. So I'm just going to bring this all the way over here until it's right there. Okay? The next step would be the nose and the mouth. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I think you're starting to get the idea. So the nose, I'm simply going to go here, here. It's like here and here, kind of. Okay? And again, I'm just going to hit Escape and turn it into a stroke and make it thicker. I think it was around 5. All right? Now, okay? Couple of other little tidbits. See how this is round and this is sharp? Okay? If I click on stroke, I can actually change the corner to make it round. I can actually give it bevel too, which looks really weird. But, okay? So then I can drop this. I don't even have to fill it. I have to fill it with a color. I got to fill it with the peach. So I don't have to see his eyeglasses. Okay? And just like that, all right, I got to take this and this, bring it to the front. Okay? So when working in Illustrator, when drawing in Illustrator, you have to start from the furthest thing back, draw that as a completed shape, and then start adding the things on top of it. A lot of times, if you're tracing your own drawing, you can either do it where you make your drawing opaque so you can see the things underneath, or you do what I do. You draw a piece, you just move it over, You draw the next piece, and you use it as a puzzle to piece it together. Okay? This is the way you've got to create an Illustrator. Otherwise, you're going to frustrate yourself like crazy trying to hand color something in. All right? So as you're drawing your drawings on Illustrator, try to do it in complete shapes. Okay? And if you need help figuring out how a certain thing would be done in a complete shape, just ask me. Okay? All right, that's kind of the thing for today. You know what you're doing other than that, so get to it.